What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 1, Round 1 battle for the Token Minorities Summer Showdown Surge format. Today we're facing off against Ace Trainer Josh, coach of the Texas Turtwigs. He, I believe, had the number 1 or number 2 overall pick, I think, in our division of the draft. And he's got a really scary team. He's got a really good team with a lot of big threats. And honestly, yeah, he's got a lot of really good threats on his team. So let's just go over that really quickly. But before we do, make sure to hit the like button, of course, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know who you think will be the MVP for this week's battle. You see the 6 Pokemon we each brought on our screens, but I'll tell you the matchups anyways. So my opponent has a team of Lycanroc Dusk, which is his Z captain. He's got Delmise, Electros, Noivern, Mawile, Skuntank, Claydol, and why not the pre-evolution of the mascot of the Token Minorities. And we have, of course, Alolan Sandslash, Sharpedo with Z-moves, Palossand, Rotom, Girder, Delphox, Lantern, and Alolan Sandslash. Now, let's get into kind of what we brought for this matchup. And I had a couple ideas of what I want to bring. There's a lot of really good threats on my team that I felt would be a good fit in the matchup. So to start off, we have Girder here, our Eviolite holding Girder with the Iron Fist ability, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, and Knock Off. Given us speed to outspeed base 50s by 1 point, so Mawile, Electro, stuff like that. And the max roll is 100% with a Jolly Life Orb Zen Headbutt at +2, I believe, from the Lycanroc Dusk. And basically, I'm running a lot of different things to force him, so he has to choose a lot of different moves, like Swords Dance, Crunch, Cell Rock, Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, Brick Break, I believe, as well. There's a lot of different things he has to bring on his Lycanroc, and I believe we can pressure that thing really well because of that. The next Pokemon we have is our Sharpedo here. It is Darkinium Z. We have Speed Boost, of course. We're Adamant Nature. We have Earthquake, Crunch, Protect, and Aqua Jet. Our speed is so that at +2 we outspeed Scarf Noivern. The Darkinium Z Crunch should always KO the Noivern pretty much all the time. And we just got to chip things down to start because Pokemon like the Mawile, like the Skuntank could be running what they call Shuckaberries, and that could be a really big pain. So I need to chip those things down, potentially get rid of the Shuckaberries, and then I could go for game with this Pokemon. Next up, though, we have Palossand here. It is a specially defensive Palossand. We have Shore Up, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Shadow Ball. I was debating between Earth Power and Toxic, or Earth Power and Stealth Rocks, but I really didn't know which one was more important. So I ended up deciding, saying, screw it, I'm going to go with Toxic. I can chip things down with that. Basically, we have the HP and Special Defense, so we're never 2 KO'd by 2 Dracometer hits from the Noivern. The rest is in defense to take crunches from Lycanroc, and yeah, I was just, again, like I was saying, debating Earth Power over Toxic or Rocks. We then have our Alolan Ninetales with the, originally it was the Light Clay, but now I moved it and I changed it to the Icy Rock. We have Snow Warning, of course. We have Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Hidden Power Ground, and Ice Shard. And the reason I'm Naive Nature actually is because I want the Hidden Power Ice, not Hidden Power Ice, the Ice Shard to do as much damage as possible. Basically, our speed is there for Adamant Lycanroc Dusk. Jolly Life Orb, a Cell Rock, doesn't even KO from full with my investments. We're Naive again because Ice Shard damage is important, and HP Ground is for Mawile, Skuntank. Even though Blizzard does more to the Skuntank, I want to pop potential Shuckaberries for the Sharpedo. Next up, though, we have our Sandslash. Now, Sandslash has speed for Noivern and Hail, and of course, neutral Skuntank. I believe we need a 97 speed overall for the Noivern, and 105 speed for the Skuntank outside of Hail. So I decided to just run at 105. We also have on this moveset we have Icicle Crash, Iron Head, Swords Dance, and Rapid Spin. I was being Earthquake over Rapid Spin, but Spin is there just in case, and Dual Stab hits everything pretty hard enough. Again, Earthquake would have been really useful for stuff like Mawile at +1. Well, when we're at +1, so let's say we Swords Dance on the switch, and as he goes to Mawile, we're going to be at +1. Earthquake does like 80 to 95% to a max defense Mawile, so I really want to try and chip that thing down. And then finally, we have a Rindo Berry Lantern. We're pretty much fully physically defensive. We're Volt Absorb as well to handle Volt Switches from the Electros. And again, we have Volt Switch, Scald, Toxic, and Ice Beam. Now, let's look at the matchup here. So my opponent has he brought the Lycanroc Dusk, the Noivern, the Delmise, Mawile, the Electros, and the Skuntank. I anticipate a, obviously, either a Life Orb or a Z-move Lycanroc Dusk. I anticipate a Scarf, potentially, or maybe a Life Orb Noivern. I also expect a Yachi Berry or Assault Vest Delmise. I expect a fully defensive Shuckaberry Mawile with Rocks. I expect an Assault Vest Electros as like a really good pivot with like U-turn. And then I expect a Defogging Sucker Punching Skuntank. So let's just get into it, guys. I decided to lead off here with my Palossand. Actually, I don't, because I decided to go against what I did in my mock, and I decided to lead off with my Lantern here. So I lead off with Lantern, and in comes his Delmise. I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam turn 1, try and pop the Yachi Berry, as he doesn't have one, and he goes to the Earthquake. Now, that's kind of scary, because I could have lived the Power Whip into the Earthquake, and he always had the chance to miss the Power Whip, but going for 2 Earthquakes, and this roll that he actually got, it doesn't tell me that much. It tells me he could have have no investment in attack, and he could have gotten a max roll, or he got a very low roll when he was max attack. Right? Max attack, low roll, mid attack, high roll, one of the two. But right here I decide, you know what, I can't risk it. I have to go for the Volt Switch here. So I Volt Switch out, and I'm going to decide to go into my Girder, because Girder can take anything this thing wants to go for. Power Up does nothing. But he goes to the Synthesis, and that tells me he's not a Salt Vest, so he might be the Darkinium Z, or not Darkinium Z, the Culver Berry. As I go for the Bulk Up on the Switch, and in comes his Mawile. And honestly, I can set up on a defensive Mawile for days. He can't talk to me because he might be afraid I have Guts, so I'm just going to stay in and fire off the Drain Punch here. And that was a misplay. I should have gone for the knockoff there, as I do 63% with the Drain Punch. And the reason I should have gone for knockoff there is because I didn't see the Intimidate, which means he was probably Sheer Force, which means Life Orb is there, and I honestly completely forgot about Life Orb Mawile. I was so focused on it being defensive with Shuckle Berry that I just completely ignored that. So I went for the Drain Punch there, and that was the wrong play, and at this point, I can't KO with the Mach Punch, so I decided to just go for the knockoff here, just in case you want to switch out into something like the Noivern, or even the Skuntank. So I decided to go for the knockoff here, as he's going to go for the Play Rough one more time, and obviously we would have ended up at more HP had we not gone for the Drain Punch first, but that's just how it is. I'm going to go for the Mach Punch now and see if he makes a good play into Noivern, which is honestly pretty simple play, but he got it right, and it's a kind of a big balls play, because if I had gone for knockoff again, it would have been bad. Anyways, he goes for the Hurricane here, and that is a decent chunk of damage. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball as he fires up the Dark Pulse, and that does more damage than the Hurricane, telling me he's probably something like Dread Plate, which kind of makes sense to me, but I didn't really expect it. But I'm going to switch out now into my Alolan Ninetales as he goes for the Dark Pulse again, and I'm really happy he did that, because we took nothing from that, and now Hail will chip him down, as I can go for the Ice Shard and finish that thing off. So I'm really happy he didn't fear the Ice Shard there, and it just came out and picked him off. Anyways, he goes into his Lightning Rock here. He can't risk the Blizzard, so he goes to the Stone Edge, and I sack off my Lantern here. I'm cool with that. I can now go and threaten him out with my Sand Slash. I'm going to pause it right here. So if I had Earthquake, and then I pretty much won right here. I could have gone for the Swords Dance, and I would have won the game right here, because he'd have to switch out. He needs this thing to still win the game to beat my Sharpedo. If he doesn't, then he pretty much loses to that thing. So because of that, I got to be very careful. And I was really deciding, is he going to switch out or is he going to stay in? And I realized I can't risk it, because if he does have the Brick Break, then this thing is gone. This is one of my best breakers, especially since Girder is chipped down low. So I need to have this thing strong. So I decided to go for the Iron Head here. I was going to switch out and sack off his Mawile. I'm like, damn it, I wish I'd gone for the Swords Dance here. It would have been such a perfect play. Anyways, Hail keeps lasting for another 4 turns. I switch out now into my Palossand as he goes for the Coil on his Electros, as I feared the Flamethrower or the Brick Break, even a U-turn actually. But you know what, Coil is okay. He's going to KO me with a knockoff, and I was realizing this is a very scary set. Why haven't I ever thought about running Coil on an Electros before? It's really cool. He reveals to be left over, so I go into my Girder here, and I can click the knockoff for free, chip it down. That tells me he has no investment in speed, because I won I outsped him. But I'm going to go for the Drain Punch now, and he actually outspeeds me and go for the Drain Punch. So it was a speed tie. He just had a couple EVs left over. That's my bad. I should have probably prepped for a little bit of speed on the Electros. But I go for the Blizzard here on this thing, thinking he was going to go for the Drain Punch even, or maybe even the knockoff or Brick Break, whatever it would be. And the reason I did that was because I could have lived 1 into a Veil with another one. So I would be able to live 2 basically once I got a Veil. So I want to also make sure Veil lasted for as long as possible. So right here, I'm going to go for my Aurora Veil, and I have now 5 turns of Veil as Drain Punch comes out and does pretty much nothing to me, and Hail will now chip him down a bit more, and I can go for the Blizzard here, and we get a crit and finish him off. Now, that crit didn't matter, and it did, but it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, I would say, because that thing was chipped down enough so that Sharpedo would come in and clean, Sand Slash would come in and clean, and obviously he wouldn't have KO'd us with whatever move he went for, so Blizzard would have came out. It would have basically just taken away 1 turn of Hail and 1 turn of Veil, which really, at the end of the day, wasn't a big deal. So he now goes into a Skuntank. I'm going to click the Hidden Power Ground here, and I just want to pop the Shuckle Berry, but he goes to the default. I'm like, that's cool, whatever. Blizzard does more. I can go for the Blizzard right now, which is exactly what I'm going to do here, as Blizzard will come out and take this thing. And now the reason I didn't go for the Aurora Veil there, again, was because Poison Jab would have KO'd me even through the Veil, and I just couldn't have that. So yeah, but anyways, here comes his Lycan Rock, not his Lycan Rock, his Delmise. I'm going to go for the Blizzard one more time. We're bringing this thing down to 2% left as he goes for the Synthesis. I don't know why he did that. I really don't. He could have killed me with the Anchor Shot, but he decided not to. So yeah, anyways, he's not going to go into his Lycan Rock, and I have to switch out to my Sand Slash here. The reason I did that was because Hail was at 1 turn left at this point, and I just needed to Hail back up. I really did. So now that I got Hail back up, Stone Edge comes out, I sack off my Ninetales, I can go into my Sand Slash, and we outspeed this thing. A Cell Rock is going to do not enough to take me out, and Iron Head finishes this thing off. So we ended up picking up a 2-0 win, and we move to the gold bracket. So GG to my opponent. It was a really fun match, really fun to prep for this league, like a lot of fun. I did the prepping pretty quickly, but it was like I just wanted to keep going, keep prepping, because it was a lot of fun. But yeah, GG to him. Make sure you go check him out, guys. His link should be in the description below. If it's not, I'm really sorry, but I will definitely do my best to get it there. But yeah, so GG to my opponent. Make sure you go check out his side of the battle. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.